Sayu, wake up! We've got a video to film! A lot of you wanted this on the last Shingen video, so here we go. One thing though, how is Sayu's usage rate so low? Like, she's an animal healer, and yet her usage rate is 0.2%. I thought more people would be using her than this. First things first, we need to level her up. I'm not really sure why she needs these crystals to ascend. Maybe Sayu makes some kind of circle with these crystals in an attempt to make her taller. Honestly, I'm thinking about this too much. Ascension materials never really made sense to begin with. Like, Heizo needs Oni Kabuto, Tainari needs lotuses, Mona and Barbara Klee use mushrooms to ascend? Wait a minute, that one kinda actually makes sense. Back to leveling Sayu though. Luckily, I already committed Whopper Flower Genocide a couple months ago, so I already had the necessary enemy materials to get her to 90. Since I plan to do Spiral Abyss, the question is what kind of team comp I should use. Sayu is Animo, which makes her pretty versatile in terms of what damage she can deal. I could just go pure Animo damage, utilizing someone like Baruzan to boost her damage. Guess who I don't have? I'll give you 3 guesses. Alright, well, I can do something like Mono Pyro, right? And make her a Flaming Wheel of Death. You know, just have to put Shunling and Bennett on the team. And this already sounds pretty boring. Never mind. So with Dendro, there's actually a way I can do Hyper Bloom Sayu. Just dump a bunch of EM onto Sayu, have an Electro, Dendro, and Hydro character, and we're good to go, right? This is probably the comp that will allow Sayu to deal the most damage, but it also means that leveling Sayu's talent serves practically no purpose. I wouldn't really invest in Sayu as a character because the damage is from the Hyper Bloom cores anyway, right? So what's the point in leveling her talents? I found this boring. So, having rejected all my other options, what's left on the table? Well, I could make an Angry Sayu. Aggravate as a reaction still relies on the skill/burst multipliers to an extent, and it isn't just build EM go burr like every Hyper Bloom comp is. Also, Sayu rolling on the enemy just sounds hilarious. Nahida is the obvious choice here for a Dendro character, so who should be the Electro character? Well, I think most people would suggest someone like Fischl, right? She has decent Electro application overall from her skill and her burst, and she provides good off-field Electro damage. There's just one problem with the suggestion. Nahida's Dendro application is so absurd that the Electro application disappears just as fast as you get spoiled by Genshin leaks on the internet. Which means I need a character that can guarantee Electro application so Sayu can absorb it during her skill. Out of all the Electro characters in the game, there's only one character that can actually do this. Dori. Her ult applies Electro onto your character, which means I can guarantee Electro absorption every single time. In theory, anyway.
And again, it just works.
That just left one slot for the party. I chose Kazuha because he gives me Animo Particles for Sayu's Black Hole and ult. He gives Electro Shred with 4-piece BV, and damage bonus with his passive. Having Kazuha in the team produced an unintended consequence. I could now be flexible with what artifacts I could use for Sayu. I started farming the Thundering Fury domain because the 4-piece Thundering Fury set just seems good for an aggravate-based setup.
What? That's what I've been waiting for. That's what it's all about.
After farming for the better part of a month, I didn't really get any good Thundering Fury artifacts for her, so I did some damage calculations to see if there were any alternatives. And it is just 1. Okay, interesting. Interesting. Very interesting. we do here? We want to plug in, let's see, 1.15 here. This just becomes this, and this here becomes this, and we have to add 80. Do the same thing, except 80 here. This is no. I don't think I'm gonna get the Sayu video out anytime soon, but like, oops. Okay. I
Stop it. Get some help.
Upon doing the calcs, I made a bittersweet discovery. Her best set was 2-piece attack, 2-piece attack, and using an Nano Cup is better than using an Electro Cup. To sum it all up, I spent over 2,000 resin farming the Thundering Fury domain over the course of the better part of a month, just to realize that 4-piece Thundering Fury isn't even good. Well, at least I have good attack pieces. I decided to use an ER Sands so I can actually use Sayu's burst off cooldown, and I put the biggest attack stat stick of all time on her. The mini Wolf's Gravestone actually looks hilarious. Alright, artifacts are done, now we level talents real quick. There we go, much better. My crown stash is looking a bit small though. Guess future videos will only have 1 crown talent. Kinda have to budget them. That, or I use characters I've already crowned, which is basically Traveler, and Kaching, and Ganyu, and Lee, and Jingyan for some reason. Alright, what do I even call this comp? Like actually, what should I call this comp? Oh, we have a great idea. Angry Yo-Yo. Sayu is the yo-yo, and Dori is the necessary string for the yo-yo. Oh my god, this is probably the worst comp I've ever made.
You are without doubt the worst pirate I've ever heard of.
But you have heard of me.
Now then, it's time to limit test. I'm sorry, Masanori, for what I'm about to do to you. Oh, that's gonna be a problem later, huh? It's gonna be a big problem later. But for now. Now, there is only one thing left to do. Spiral Abyss.
Emotional damage!
Well, it worked out somehow. I know what you'll be saying. Nahida and Kazuha did more damage than Sayu did! To that, I say the following. How many freaking times did Sayu get knocked out of her roll? Like, I really wish they put some kind of interruption resistance in her kit during her roll, so that this comp could work without needing a shield. But I suppose it is what it is. Still, this comp was actually pretty funny. When it worked really well. I think if this was used in the last of this, it would actually be much more usable. Because you can actually evade the attacks much more easily, versus Magu Penki nuke everywhere. Now I really need to figure out what I'm gonna do next after this. You know how I said that I wouldn't triple crown anymore for future videos? I might need to for this one.